Hello, everybody. Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. We are going to work on an art journal page today. So come join me. Say hello in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Welcome to all the subscribers and fans and friends over on YouTube and also all the crafty chicks hanging out with me here on Facebook. I am broadcasting to both places today using StreamYard, and I'm going to show you my table. So I've got my work table here, but I'm also here. I'm here. Hello. I'm here. I'm super comfy today. I'm trying to stay comfortable. Haven't been feeling great lately, guys, and I think it's just with all the excitement. There's so much excitement going on. Family life and with you guys with this switch and transition over this merger of the Napkin Lovers Club to the Craft Therapy Club. I'm just super excited. I've been getting up every 3 hours to administer meds to my child who had his wisdom teeth out on Monday. So since then, I've been getting up every 3 hours at night. So I've been trying to go to bed early, but I think that kind of stuff just catches up with me. So I haven't been feeling great. So I'm in my comfy clothes today. I'm trying to take it easy. And this art journal page is going to be such a great way to, what's my tagline too, right? It comes up now. Craft, relax, repeat. And the reason the art journal page came up is because I'm going to give a shout out to Ursula. She's the first one on my post today that I shared on the page saying, hey, join me at 1:00 for a live craft session. And I said, what should we do today? And Ursula said it first, and then Sandy and Vicky both agreed. So Vicky Dooley, Ursula, Sandy, you guys all said, do something with a cross. So it made me think about my spiritual art journal because I have been stumped on this page. I have been stumped, and maybe you guys can help me work through it. So shout out to Vicky, Sandy, and Ursula for giving me the idea. Hi, Lori. I see you. There's Jennifer. Hi, Tamara and Denise. Hello, ladies. I see you all. Thanks for being here. Hey, and thanks, by the way, you guys, those of you, nearly 90 of you, Napkin Lovers Club members, have already made the transition over into the Craft Therapy Club, and you're in various stages of this. Some of you have joined the Craft Therapy Club, so you go onto the website and enroll. So you're still in the Napkin Lovers Club, and you'll have access to all of that stuff in the Napkin Lovers Club as long as you enroll in the Craft Therapy Club. The Napkin Lovers Club is in the third month of this quarter. So at the end of the month, that quarter will be done, and we'll pick up everything that we've been doing in the Napkin Lovers Club is going to move over into the Craft Therapy Club. It is so exciting. And about 90 of you are in various stages of moving over. So you've already enrolled. Some of you are already in the Craft Therapy Club and still in the Napkin Lovers Club. And some of you have enrolled, but you haven't quite requested to be added to the club here on Facebook. So I know it's a process, but it's all so good. It's so positive, so much goodness coming your way. My mind is racing like crazy because once I get this transition with everybody in place and settled in, comfy in the nest over at the Craft Therapy Club, we're going to continue to create. All of the change happens April 1st. Everything, that the projects that we had done, the napkin projects that we had done in the Napkin Lovers Club will move over. The new stuff, all the old stuff will stay in the Napkin Lovers Club, and you guys can still have access to that as long as you are still a member. Okay, Leslie, she says, I'm so excited because you're going to work in a junk journal. My biggest reason for watching you. I'm going to work in my art journal today, Leslie. Yes, but we'll have a lot of fun with it. I have been stumped on this page, as I said. Maybe you guys can help me. Hi, Margaret. I see you. Hello. Thanks for the flowers. It was 1 degree here when I woke up this morning. And it is still so snow covered. We are waiting for the warm up here up north in North Dakota. And we won't get flowers till probably May. I know that's hard to believe. I grew up in Massachusetts, and I know in Massachusetts, flowers were blooming like end of March, starting in April. They were popping through the earth. Yeah, we still have too much snow for that for the flowers to even consider popping up and through. So thank you for the flowers. I appreciate them so much, Miss Margaret. Hello, good afternoon. It's in the 70s, Brenda. That sounds so lovely. All right, let's get my journal and I'm going to show you what I'm stumped by. Okay, first of all, though, I have this here. I've ordered this, you guys. I am so in love with this. I just love this so much. I peruse Pinterest a lot for art journal inspiration, art journal pages, like ideas for things that I could do in my art journal. I love to do that. I'm so inspired by other creators and artists and what they're creating on the regular. And I came across this the other day on Pinterest and it made me stop and I wondered, what does that say? I couldn't read it on Pinterest. So I clicked on it and it brought me to this woman, this artist, Claudia Tremblay. It brought me to her Etsy shop where I purchased. I'm so excited. So I printed this out so I could show it to you, but I did purchase this from like an 11 by 14 print. And I can't wait to get it because I'm going to frame that and put that somewhere in my house. So I did email this out to everybody on my email list to share it. And I intend to do more of that coming up in the next few months and stuff. You know, I find a lot of things that really inspire me and I think I should share it. And so I'm going to be sharing them. And that'll be the only purpose of the email is to share something that I stumbled across. And I've been asking you guys, I've done this a couple of times now by email and asked you guys to respond and tell me your perception, your feeling, your takeaway, your impression of the things that move me. And I've had some really good conversations by email with some of you crafty chicks who have replied to me. It just makes me further appreciate the artwork because your perspective adds more to my perspective. And I've been enjoying those little conversations by email so much. So if you're not on the email list and you want to join in the conversation, and that's really a one-on-one conversation because I send it out to everybody and then I ask you to reply, then that becomes a one-on-one chat with me. And I've been enjoying them so much. So thank you to all of you who have been replying to the things that I have been sharing. So anyway, I gave you even the quote in the email. So if you're not on the email, maybe get on the email because all of these different offerings that we have, we share different things in different places. So if you're on the Telegram channel, if you're a subscriber to the Telegram channel, I send different things. Like I sent pictures of my kids. We're both inducted to the National Honor Society the other day, and I sent pictures of the kids, pictures of Landon at his dance, just things, just different things. So those went to the Telegram channel. This stuff went to the email list. So I'm trying to really give you value in all the different places and a different perspective on what's happening over here at my comfy nest. I know, Brenda, I love that print too. Jeannie says she's trying to clean her craft room. You will watch what you can. Jeannie, that's exactly what I want you to do. That's perfect. Just hanging out where you can while you can. Okay, so let's see. I just want to make sure just the comments usually tell me if you're coming from, oh yeah, we have people from both YouTube and from Facebook here. So Denise and Lori coming in from YouTube. Some of you girls coming in from Facebook. Thank you. So I have all this stuff gathered with the idea of what we might do today. This page has stumped me. Okay. This is my spiritual art journal. So come to the table, sit down and be set free. So like I love contemporary Christian music. So sometimes it's lyrics like that one is to contemporary music, a little more like Mercy, a little more like Jesus, a little less like Me. This is another song that I really love. And some just, some doodling and artwork and flowers and playing with different, I've got some serious texture going on in the corner on this page. Just this art journaling for me really so relaxing because I just get to play in a book that maybe nobody will ever see, or maybe I'll share it with you. But it's just for me to get that feeling, that prayer, that intention, that reflection on paper. And I hope you'll embrace the same thing because it's also a really good place to learn about supplies and your own style and things that you like and don't like. And it's a great place to use up your supplies. So you'll see all different, I don't have a particular style. I just do whatever is in my heart and in my, what I'm feeling that day. This I tore out from our diocese sends a magazine it's either every month or every quarter. I don't even know. We've got a couple of those kinds of magazines. And it had a stack of Bibles. And so I cut it out of the magazine and used that on the background of this one. Hope can live or die, so speak life. When the sun won't shine and you don't know why, speak hope, speak love, speak life. That's a song lyric again. This one has that cute bunny napkin. So every page is different. You never know what you're going to get. And I'm over here and I created this background. And I'm stumped. Like, I don't know what else to do with it. But what's in the background, what I was trying to like reflect on here was, let me share with you, the Stations of the Cross, which happens through the season of Lent. And so the Stations of the Cross, I absolutely have always, since I was a child, loved the Stations of the Cross and the prayers within them. So I printed this out for myself recently because when you go to church on Friday nights for Station of the Cross is when my church does it. They give you a little booklet that you can follow along with the stations, but then you leave it at the church. So I printed this out so I'd have it for myself at home. It takes you through all 15 stations. And the prayer that starts each station is what really inspired this page. And it's actually written in the background. It says, because by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. So the leader starts stations by saying, we adore you, O Christ, and we bless you. And everybody else responds, because by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. Okay. I have that in the back here. I also have one of the songs from our own church. We sing this song at the beginning of this. So I have it in the back there, but I want it more prominent. I wasn't sure when I started. So you can see it kind of written behind all the paints and inks that I've put on this page. So it's become part of the background, but I want it to be part of the foreground. So then I was thinking, when I printed this out, the first printout came out wrong. Because when I folded it all in half, the way I put it in my printer, it's all upside down. So I thought, well, this won't go to waste. I was thinking I could use this. So let's cut it out as one of this gorgeous artwork on the front here. We could use this as one of the focal points for this. I'm not going to throw this out. I will try to use this messed up printout of this set of prayers. I hate to, you know me, I just hate to throw it out. So maybe we can use this as a focal point. And I had already printed out. I have been so stumped by this page. I've been working on it for like a week and a half, maybe even longer. I don't quite remember. But the colors here seem to really actually match what I got going here. So that might work. The other thing, I had already printed this out. The cross, Miss Ursula, who asked for something with a cross. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for blessing the nest. You're the best. Oh, that all rhymed. Totally unintentional. Oh, Linda. I am so sorry, my love. Everybody give Linda some hearts on the screen. She says, I lost my mom last week and this print is perfect. Linda, this print. Did you get it by email, Linda? She's referring to this. Linda, the phrase on here is so touching, and it made me think both of my parents are gone. They've been gone for a few years. My mom for a very long time, my dad for several years. But anyway, this made me think of them. And that's why I was like, I want this so badly. I want this so badly, the quote. So did you get to read that, Linda? And I'm so sorry for your loss. My heart extends to you, and I'll also offer prayers for you. You did get it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm so glad that listen, if there's something that I'm moved by and I share it with you and it doesn't mean anything to you, there's no skin off your back, right? Just toss the email aside or the telegram, just like, it doesn't matter. Just let it pass. But sometimes there's going to be a connection there or something that you can relate to. And I hope to just inspire and lift you guys as much as possible. Tamara, yeah, let's all offer some prayers, if you're the praying kind, to Linda and her family during this hard time. Joining from Kansas City, Missouri. Well, hello, Amy. I see you. Oh, thanks. Lori, you're so sweet. I feel like you guys have adopted my children. Is that silly to say? I feel like in a way I've been sharing so much of their lives with you guys. And I do that. I mostly do that in private, you guys. I am not hugely comfortable putting my kids on my business Facebook page, but I do share a lot about them and what's going on in their lives in the membership clubs where it's more private, in the Telegram chat where it's more private. So I feel like those of you who are getting that stuff, with all your well wishes and your congratulations and the pictures that I sent of Landon at the dance with his girlfriend and your comments about the dress and his suit, and it just has been so fun to share with you. So thank you for sharing in our joy and even our struggles. I feel like they've been adopted by like 100 crafty, well, maybe I should say 100 mother hens here at the Comfy Nest. I feel like that so much. Okay, so my only intention with this cross was to use it as a template. Here's the thing. When I've ever put a cross on a project, it's wonky. I struggle to just like get the scale right. Does anybody else struggle with that? Like if I'm drawing something like a face or anything, I'm not a talented sketch drawing person. I really struggle with scale. I have to really practice a lot. Our journals are perfect for that. So I'm just cutting this out because I intended to use it as a template. I really wanted this modern shape of a cross. You know how it like, these are wider here and then it gets narrow in here. I've always loved this shape as a shape for a cross. So I thought I could use this, and you'll see my idea here, as a template. I don't want this cross on the page, but I want the shape of the cross on the page. So I went on Google and I just said modern cross images and free graphics. Like these are the kinds of things you can type in on a Google search, a Safari search, Yahoo, it doesn't matter. So I went on to Google and printed this out, found it, printed it out a couple of times to get the size that I wanted. And then I would like to use this as a template. If this could be the focal point of the page, I wouldn't want two main big focal points. It would be one or the other, but I want to incorporate this shape into the page. So I have an idea, and you can share with me and watch kind of just as a way for something to do with your journal pages. You guys are so sweet to give Linda all those prayers and condolences. Hey, Marsha Accord, welcome. She says she's listening from work. You love this cross? I do too, Vicki. I just love the shape of it so much. Okay, so what my idea was to use this template, and what I'm going to do is write the same words that I want them to be more prominent. I'm going to write them in on the journal page, but I'm going to use the cross as my template for, I had two ideas. I could write the words around the edge to create the shape of the cross, or I could trace this with a pencil and then write the words within that shape, if that makes any sense. So the words are going to be in the shape of the cross, but this isn't going to get taped down. I'm just going to use it as my template. I hope that makes any sense to you. That's my idea. And then over here, I'm going to make this the focal point. So what I did was I grabbed all these. We talk about the rugged cross. So I grabbed all these papers from my paper stash, things that are kind of rugged looking. And I'm going to frame. Oh, here's that handmade paper that we used on this the other day. Remember this project? This is my leftover handmade paper. So I'm going to use it. Just put that down. I'm going to use it to maybe frame this beautiful image of Jesus on the rugged cross. Okay. That being said, I'm going to start playing with these to create some sort of frame. I have these little things left over. So what I'm saying is, like, we can use these things to create some kind of like cool frame for the cross. So I'm just going to take bits of papers and start layering them behind this image to create a frame that makes this really the focal point. Okay. So I just grabbed a bunch of things that seemed rugged to me, like these. It's just decorative scrapbook paper that I've used in the past. It may even be down in here. And I don't necessarily want straight edges. So I'm going to tear and get this more rugged looking. Well, you guys are chit-chatting in the comments. You love the cross. Oh, so good. I'm so glad. Watching from the doctor's office. Well, Phyllis, I had to cancel a doctor's appointment for Gannon. It's been, there's so many of us who tell me that. Oh, I've been at the doctor or visiting the doctor or yeah. So God's blessings. I hope everything goes well. Yay, Lori. I've already got things. Anybody who's placed an order for physical materials, they've been sent out. And like Lori, yours is in today's mail, ready to be picked up. So, okay. I love the rugged look of the papers, and this straight edge is throwing me off. So I'm going to take it out of here, even though it's really rugged paper. I don't like the straight edge. So that's coming out. And then let's grab a bunch of papers that have rugged edges and use these as my frame here for this. So I don't need it that long. And let's see, what else might I like here? See, they all match so well. Actually, they might match too well. I grabbed this too, because that has a different texture. It's just coffee stained resume paper. Let's grab a chunk of that. You love my language. For a chunk of that, we'll use a piece of this. We want it super rugged. Oh, I like that a lot. See what I'm doing here? I'm just creating a frame out of rugged papers, if that makes any sense. I think I want this one really showing, like really pronounced. So I'm going to put that up and to the left. And then maybe I'll repeat this since I have this sticking out anyway. Maybe we can repeat this one here. See where I'm going with this? Oh, I'm going to get you closer, or maybe what I'll do instead is make this bigger. There we go. Then you can see a little better. Oh, yay. I know, Lori. I love getting you guys. When you guys place orders, I try so hard to get them out the door within 24 to 48 hours, because I figure once you've paid for it, it doesn't belong to me anymore. And my job is to get it to you as soon as possible. So that's what I try to do. All right, here, if I use this, I only need a little piece. I like how bright this is. And it looks textured, and it looks like a little bit like a texture medium. So I'm going to rip the edges though. And then we may have to darken some of these edges up. So if anybody, you girls who have any questions, I've been trying in all the places to make the announcements about this merger of the two groups. And I'm really hoping I don't miss on anybody. I'm fearful that someone's going to be like, I didn't know. I'm doing my best to get it out everywhere by email and Telegram, in the groups. I've done lives. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's as many places as I can think to put it. See, I like that a lot, you guys. So I'm kind of going to go with something like this. I think I'm going to use a little bit of archival ink for these papers that are a little cleaner to muck them up a bit. You know, my big old word. Oh, by the way, look at this. This is kooky. All right. Don't think I'm really kooked. All right. I'm not kooky. This, look at that texture, girls. Show me some hearts if you like some texture. I'm a fan of texture. This is a piece of gauze that the oral surgeon gave Landon. We were to fold it in thirds and fold it in thirds. And then he was supposed to put that in his mouth, in his cheek after the surgery. So they gave us a whole bunch of these. They're just little squares of gauze, and they have beautiful texture. And my mind, I can't even help it. He's done with the gauze. He doesn't need any more gauze, and we have some left over. So I was like, oh, texture for one of my pages. So I snatched up the gauze from Landon's care kit from his surgery. And look, you can stretch it. You can tear it. You can cut it. You could probably dye it. Let's just dip it in here. Yeah. Like, you see what I'm saying? You could use spray inks. I just think spray inks are going to get it really wet, and then we won't be able to use it right away. But if I do this, sop up some of that ink and make it like super rugged, I wonder if we could tear it. Oh yeah, you can. I didn't know. I just grabbed it thinking, well, we're not going to throw this out. I put some of it into my, in the laundry room. I have a cupboard in my laundry room where we keep like all the medical stuff, like Band-Aids and, you know, like anti-back ointments if they get a cut, and the Bactine and all that. So the rest of it's going in there. But I thought I was just going to take one piece because it could maybe come in handy on a project like this. So anyway, let's muck up some of these things, and I might add that in there. Is that funny or what? Tell me I'm not the only one. Somebody in the comments tell me. Grace, you're not the only one that saves random things like that. If it's an envelope, if it's a special napkin, if it's a tissue paper, I'm like, oh, don't throw that out. I can use that in my art journals. Okay. This is really bright and I like the brightness of it, but it was too bright. So I just muck it up a little bit. You see that? I just added some of that same brown color to it. So it looks similar. And then these where I've torn and you've got the white paper pulp kind of showing, I want to cover that up so that it's not super white showing. So that's all I'm doing here is covering up the super whites. The rest of it I can leave au naturel, but I'm just mucking up some of this stuff. Okay. This one, same thing. It's a little brighter where I tore it. The edges that come, it almost looks like they're burnt a little bit. They're really dark. So I'm just going to make these match a little bit more. The ones where I tore. I think this, well, we have two options. We could cover that. It would go under the photo, or I could go this way. I actually like that better. And put this more straight edge under the photo. Yeah, so I have the mucked up stuff hanging out above. We're going for rugged here. So all of the straight edges, I try to hide under the photo and leave the more rugged, ripped stuff kind of coming through. Once I get positioning where I like it, see that straight edge? That goes under because I don't want to see that. I want to see the rough edges, the rugged edges. And I don't get too worked up over shape. I just kind of go with what my eye likes, and I like that. So now, oh, are we going to try to work this in here somewhere? It could fit. I say I'm going to hold everything down as best I can. Well, and this phase right here is just me testing, you know, do I like it there? Because I'm incredibly visual, so I need to see it before I put it down. Hold on, I need to see it in place. I don't like this straight edge sticking out. Let's try it this way. I don't know about this. I'm not feeling it as much as I thought that was a brilliant idea. I'm not feeling it. Okay. Once you have your stuff, like, you know, kind of where you want to lay it out, where you think you want it positioned, then what I do is I go in with my glue stick and I start gluing stuff down before I lose positioning. Okay. I don't love right here. I got this straight edge hanging out. We're going to get rid of this straight edge. I don't want it showing. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I'm loving that. And I know this is going to go straight down in the middle. So this I can take off because that's not going to be hard to remember. This, I will never remember what I put. If I take it all off and then try to relayer it, I'll never remember. So when you're doing something like this, take a picture of it when you're on your own. Use your phone and take a picture of it. Then you can take everything off and relayer it. But what I do is just keep everything in place and start gluing it right where it is. Anne says I'm visual as well. Hello, welcome, Anne. Yeah, Brenda, now you're talking my language. She said, I saved a Kleenex box yesterday because I think it's pretty and I might use it. Denise, thank you. Yeah, Linda, me too. She said, I can't throw anything out. I am, you wouldn't have thought of using gauze. I think the more that you start using unconventional things, the more that kind of occurs in your brain. The more you get that way. All right, I had to take a little drink. Okay, starting with the undermost, if I can. Like this is going to, if I want, well, you could do this. If I put a little bit of glue on here, because that's where this is going to be positioned. Those two now are stuck together, right? Then I could go like this Now those two are stuck together. So see what I'm doing? I'm trying to just secure the positioning. I could take this one and just do this corner first. Whoop. Look what I did. I'm just going to fold it over. I pushed down so hard that it came off the glue stick. That corner first. Now, all of these are stuck together lightly. So this is the only one that doesn't have glue, but it's the one that's further down on the bottom. So I'm holding this with my thumb, and I'm going to come under here, and I'm going to glue up this corner to get him in place. So now my positioning is pretty much in two spots, that and this. And to make sure that it's positioned properly, let's grab this back and say, you know, is that where I want it? I want this showing a little more down below. So I have to pull this down lower. Like that, maybe. I like that. Okay. That being said, I'm going to take this corner and glue so that I don't lose that positioning. Whoops. But now that will stay in place. And now I can come down under here. So see how I just do it in layers? That makes sense to my brain. And when I'm holding it down with one hand and adding a little bit of glue with the other to get everything in place. And the glue stick makes it really easy. Normally I like this stuff to flop up, but I'm not going to do that with this one. Let's get that down. Whoops. And same thing here. I've got to add some glue down in here. Now, my glue, if it extends beyond the papers here, and so if this is tacky right here, it's not. But if your glue accidentally extends beyond your papers, just remember not to close your book when you're done working on it, because that will dry over time. This glue stick, that will dry over time and it will not affect anything. But if you close your book immediately, it's going to stick to the page on the other side. So don't be afraid to go over a little bit. Just remember not to glue your book down, or to close your book, I mean. Okay, this I'm loving. So now on here, I'm going to put a whole lot of glue on this because this is just one big sheet. And I'm going to stretch it on both corners, make sure my positioning is what I want it to be. Good with that. So I made like a rugged frame. Using scraps of paper. There's a gazillion ways you could frame your focal point. I just thought, since it's the rugged cross, a rugged frame using brown mucked up papers is a great way to, one, use up my papers, and two, kind of stick with the same rugged theme. Okay, so he's definitely the focal point. Let me check. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? My Massachusetts friend. Hey, Judy, just joining in. Welcome, welcome. Janet has been decorating for Easter. You go, girl. Elizabeth bought these glue sticks a while back. They're great. My favorite. I mean, I really have not deviated from them. I have found in the boys' stash from like school, their school bin of supplies, I have found other glue sticks, and I do try to use them up, but I don't really love them. Like, I love that glue stick so much. I do. I love it so much. It's in my Amazon store, if you're wondering. It took me a whole lot of time to find them, actually. But if you go to my Amazon store and go to the craft supplies you'll love, then that's a good place to find them. Okay, so now I'm going to write something in here in this shape of this cross. And so I think what I'll do, like, let me get another piece of scrap paper, because I'm not quite sure. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what this is going to work out to be. So I have just a piece of white scrap paper here, and here are my thoughts. Okay, I take this and I use this is a chalk pencil, so it'll erase. I mean, it leaves a mark enough so that you can see it, but it'll erase off the surface very easily because it's chalk and a pencil. You could just use chalk for this. You could use a regular pencil if you don't mind seeing the lines. My hope is to not see the lines. But I was thinking a couple of different versions might work here to get the cross shape without actually having the piece of paper on the page. So very light. Oh, can you hardly even see that? Very light chalk sketch of the shape. And my thought was to take, I think I'm just going to use, this is longer if I used all of it, but I think I just want, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. It's exactly what I wrote under here, but that got kind of hidden. So if I used that, I could do it two ways. So let's just see what might work. This is going to look messy, but this is how I figure things out. When I'm not sure what to do here, I don't start on my page. I start on a piece of scrap paper to work it out. And then when I'm sure, I'll put it in the page. So one idea is to write it across, like just along the edges of, and make the cross shape. But the other idea that I think I'm going to go with, I think I will like, is to write it like this, because by your, I have to figure out placement, right? Because that would have to be really big. Because by your holy cross, will I fit it if I do it this way? You have redeemed see how I'm going to get that cross shape. So the only thing I have to work out is the holy cross. It's too small. This is why I don't want to do it in my book, because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work this all out. But if I did it really big like this, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. And then what I could do is take a messy, like my Stabilo all pencil probably, and give myself a really rough, again with that word rough. See that? What do you guys think of that? I think it's too big, to be honest with you. I feel like it's too big, but I want it over here. So what do you think? Should I make it smaller? Lots of us are late today. Well, you're always welcome, Kathy. It's no matter. You come whenever you want to, girlfriend. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Rita. Girl, you're a rock star. Thanks for helping us spread the word. You like it, Kathy? You like this idea, Jennifer? So do you think, so what I'm thinking is, I love this, right? Just use a piece of scrap paper to figure it out with a pencil first. Okay, and it doesn't matter that it's all messy. We didn't do it on our page. We did it here. But now I got to figure out size-wise. I would really love for it to be not super bold. So then my mind goes to gel pens. Like, what if I used this? This is a little risky. And I told you, I need a gold gel pen. I have white, I have silver, I have black. I don't want black because it's too bold. Looking through my stash. Hold on, girls. I have 3 silver and a white. And I have this. This is a metallic marker. It is not a gel pen. Completely different. Gel pens are nice because they're so soft. So if I were to take, see this color here is like a green. If I were to take like even just one of these pieces of paper and try to, then what I'll do is I'll envision the silver on a darker color. So this is more what I'm going for. I wish I had gold, but I don't. Oh, this one's not even coming out. Are you running out of ink? My love, you are kind of old. It's not writing on there. So can you see that word because? It's in metallic gel pen. Okay. Gel pens are just phenomenal for having in your stash because they can add so much to your pages, but make them, the thing can be more subtle. It doesn't have to be super, I don't want it to compete with this as the focal point, is I guess what I'm getting at. I want it to be kind of in the background. I had written it and it's in the background, but that's too much in the background. So I want to bring it forward. I think all of these gel pens are the same. All these silvers are the same. Let me just do a quick. That one's not showing up real well, so I'll put it aside. And this one has a bolder ball point, but it's not coming out real well. I think it's dry. Mama needs some new pens. Okay, let me just check real quick one more time. I can't believe it. I got to get online and do some ordering. Now, if I used a gold paint pen like this one, it's going to be more obvious. It's going to be darker, and that's not what I want. I want it to kind of like, I want it to be there but not be there. Like, am I seeing this right? Let's try the white one more time. Are you going to come out for me? No. Dang it. All right. After we're live, please. No, we're gonna make some eye contact here. Listen. Don't let me forget to order gold, silver, and white gel pens. In fact, I carry these in the store. I can just go get one of these from my store. But I don't have gold and silver. Note to self. I got to get gold and silver. All right. I guess it's the silver that I'm going to use because it's the one that's showing up the best. Okay. And then let's get our template. I still feel like it's a little too big, but I think if I do it in a way that's subtle, we might be okay. I'm going to put it lower right. That's kind of like, it's kind of centered on this page, but over there, I'm going to put this one in the lower right. That'll give me more room later to do things. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with my chalk pencil. I'm going to come around and just give me this shape, give myself this shape so I can see my template, my parameter for what I'm working around. And I think I may end up covering that, outlining that like I did on the practice sheet. I may. So this chalk will probably go away completely. You could do this with regular chalk. Like I said, I'm using a chalk pencil. It was in my quilt stash for fabric. All right, so now I can see that. It's very faint. The goal is to have that disappear eventually, but I'm going to write in really lightly like I just did. So then what I'll do is I will take this, because I've worked it out, that'll all fit there like that. I'm going to put it right in front of myself so I can see how I positioned everything and how much space I gave myself. I actually am not going to capitalize the word because. I'm going to do it in small. Oh, girls, it's so faint. Because by your, let's hope I don't run out of ink. Because it feels like it already. Oh boy, girls, this one has ink. This has to be really big. And it's because it's got all that stuff in the background, it's going to be super faint. Maybe too faint. But if I can get it in there, actually, even if it's really, really faint, once I've got it positioned in there and I order my new pens, I could always come back and redo it, right? Like go over it again with the new pen. All right, I guess I'm using this one. This one has a bigger ball. It has like, it comes out a little bit more bold. The other one was really fine. You have, I'm getting over my, I'm getting over myself. What is it called? Like my criticism, my own criticism of my own handwriting. Does anybody suffer from that? Like, do you ever like write something on a project and think, I don't like the way that looks because you don't like your handwriting? Tell me in the comments if that occurs to you. I am hard on myself because I don't always love my handwriting. And the reason I don't always love my handwriting is because it's very inconsistent. Sometimes I print and sometimes I do script, and it's usually a combination of the two, which is very unique. Well, everybody's handwriting is very unique, isn't it? This is so faint, you guys. You have redeemed the... Oh, now I feel like I'm running out of ink. No, I wasn't running out of ink. You just can hardly see it. I guess I got what I'm asking for. It's in silver. So actually the metallic shows up. If I hold it a certain way, you get that gleam of the metallic. and then decide whether or not to put something around that, like a simple pencil mark like I did here. I think I'm going to grab my brown Stabilo pencil and do it with that. And I want it to be really, I want it to be really not bold. I keep saying the same thing. I don't know what other words I could use to try to describe it. I want it to be super faint, and I would like it to be really messy. But I know I would have messed this up if I was left to my own devices for sketching this out, because I'm not good with scale. One side would be bigger than the other. It would be completely wonky. So I just feel better if I give myself a little template. So I'm taking my brown Stabilo pencil, which is a charcoal, and you can water activate it to make it more bold, but I don't want to do that. I just want it to look super scratchy and rugged and faint. So that's why I'm like going over my lines a whole lot, and I want it to look super sketchy. And I'm okay with some of the lines being bigger than others, like I did here. It's not neat. It's totally messy and scratched out. That's kind of what I want. Rugged. We're going for rugged here. So using the rugged style around the cross kind of matches what I think of as the rugged cross that we see over here on the other side. Okay, this is going to help when I come back to this page, this Stabilo chalked out pencil cross, so we can still see the background clear as day. You get all that gorgeous green and yellow and the drips of blue. You can still see all of that, and you can still see that. Like, I think of this as like Gethsemane. Is that what it's called? Gethsemane, like the mount where it happened, right? So I think of that like as the ground. And then because by his holy cross, it's so faint with silver that when I get my new pens, what I'll probably do is come back to this page. Let me see if I can get you further back so you can see the whole thing. Get back to this page, and I want to do this, I think, in gold. I would rather this be in gold. So I'll probably get a more bold gold gel pen that has a bigger tip so that I can go over that one more time. And so hopefully it'll appear in gold. So I'm no longer stumped by this page. I always put the date on my pages, and I usually stamp it. So I have this little stamp that I got, again, Amazon, and you can change the dates. So we're in March now. What's today? Oh my gosh, it's the 23rd. Gannon turned 16 yesterday. We celebrated his birthday. Again, you're looking at it backwards, so I never know if I'm quite right. So I usually do the quick stamp on a piece of paper so I know that I'm right. And then the day that I finish, I'm going to consider this finished now, but I will come back. I'm going to put the date March 23rd on there. I will come back and do a little more to that cross, and maybe I'm going to keep this in this page so I don't forget what my intention was for this cross. What do you guys think? Should I gesso this so that you cannot see the yellow and the green? Or would you leave it so that the cross shape is see-through? That's another option, is I could take some gesso. You guys, I want you to see this because, and I've been a little bit committed to this lately in my mind. I've had a few of you over the years say, I wish I could think as fast as you with putting an art journal page together. And let me tell you, when we're live, especially for an event, when we are live for an event, or if I'm live for the Craft Round the Clock group, my intention is always to do a project from start to finish. That's my hope, that within that 45 minutes, within that half hour, you're going to see the whole thing from start to finish. So I'm planned out. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I may have even done a little sketching or practicing out, off screen that you have not seen. When I come to my art journal on my own for my own personal time, or when I'm preparing for workshops, it's super slow. It develops as I go and as I work with my supplies. So I want to assure you, it's not always fast, and it doesn't need to be fast. You can journal and work in your book, and that for the joy of working in the book and journaling, and without any stress to be fast. I always point that out to you guys. We are fast because that's our job as a creative, is to show your project start to finish. I put a lot of pressure on myself anyway to do that, because I want you to come away from your time with me inspired start to finish to do a project. But that's not how it always is, especially in art journaling, because art journaling is a process that it takes time. Sometimes it takes time. You'd leave it. You say leave it. Golgotha, where the crucifixion was. Thank you for correcting me, Janet. I'm not, I don't think I'm muted. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm still, that you can hear me. Oh, interesting, Ursula. I love what you said here. She says, we electronically communicate so much now. I think we lose some of our writing skills, so we need practice. And aren't our books a good place to do that? I've been regularly now. I didn't used to do this, but these are just, you guys, these are practice pages. I was actually practicing something specific there, like a certain technique. But what I've been doing more regularly now is writing prayer intentions or reflections or specific prayers behind my pages in This Is My Spiritual Art Journal. So like I said, you can see that I had written that already behind there and then creating over that. To me, it feels safe. It feels private. It feels reflective. And then if the page, like this page came together and I really, really want that phrase, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world, to be part of this page. I want it to be really more prominent. So I'm going to write it again up above here. But that is a great way to practice your penmanship to get to what Ursula is saying. We type so many things. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me. We type so many things that we forget what our handwriting is like sometimes, other than our grocery list. So anyway, I was thinking I might take a little bit of this beige gesso and over here to make this pop a little more, give this a little bit of a halo. So I do that sometimes. It's just a personal preference for me, and I tend to go to it quite often. So I'm going to grab a little stencil brush and just a little bit of this gesso. This I want to keep in my book. I will like put that in the page when I close it. So I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap paper and work that gesso into the bristles of that brush, just like I would do if I'm stenciling. So I have a little more control. And I think I'm just going to go over the edges of this so that the edge of the paper isn't so bold. Like this, kind of give it like a little bit of a halo, and this etched out beige, it kind of matches the whole theme of the page. So I'm going to take this and go around the edges. It's going to look rough and scratchy. Again, that rugged cross idea. And it's dry brushing it, so I don't have a whole lot of gesso here. You could use tan paint. You could totally use just a tan colored paint. I just happen to have this beige gesso on hand and I really love it. It's the first thing that my mind went to. So I'm going to try to soften that edge a little of the paper. That looks really nice. And then maybe I'll even do this a little bit. I was going to use what's in the cap, but I think I've used it all up. Got a little bit left. I may even come around the frame a little bit. To make this more prominent here. Same thing. I'm just doing it on the outside of all the papers, these rugged papers that I used to frame it out. Like I'll get rid of this really bright green in here a little bit. Soften it up with this like beige colored, creamy colored gesso. Giving it kind of a halo. And it's a really rugged shape. The frame is like a really rugged shape. It's up and then down, and then it goes up again. So I'm just going to have to work within that, and we're just going to frame it out a little so it looks really soft and muted and kind of magical, if you ask me. All right, that's probably too much. I'm not trying to hit the papers necessarily. I want to be just on the edge of the papers that framed out this, just so I can soften these colors a little bit. Give it like a dreamy effect. Can you see the difference, and do you like it? Ursula, Deco Art. Let me show you my gray if I can find it. Hold on, girls. If I can find it. Hold on. Ursula, I'll show you. Now, Tita sent me that one. That's a little sample that Tita sent me. One of our crafty chicks. But if I can find my gray one, I will show you. Deco Art has, here it is, Chalky Gesso, it's called. It comes in a huge, huge container. Like, I can't imagine I'll use this in, like, it will take me years to use this. But go to the Deco Art website, and and I got this a long, long time ago, girls. I mean, but that's what it is, Chalky Gesso. And it comes in different colors, like a green tint. This is a gray. This is a beige. They had a variety of colors. I really love it. But someone was telling me, I was using it recently, and one of you went to go buy it, and you couldn't find it. I got this off of the Deco Art website, and I don't know. I assume that Tita did the same when she sent me the sample of the beige. I'm really loving this, like, really soft look around this. It just makes it, it's like a marshmallow. It's like a cloud. I feel like it just makes it really dreamy and soft, and it keeps it as the focal point. Like, it really draws your eye in over here. That's how I feel about what this does. And I do it quite often in my journal pages. I think because I'm just really fond of it as a look. And if you start really light, you can always come back once you see it there and you're like, yeah, I think I like this. You can always come back and make it more noticeable, more bold. It's really prominent here. And I think that's because that paper that's there, that is that resume paper that I coffee dyed. So it's already a solid, brighter color than what's happening everywhere else. In fact, it makes me kind of want to hit the rope colored paper. It makes me want to hit that on top of the actual paper and make it a little softer. All right, I'll show you what I mean because I'm doing it. All right, so here, I hit this one right here with gesso, and this I have not hit with gesso. So it's really dark. There's a big difference. This is really soft and cloud-like, and this one's really dark and more bold. And I think I like the soft. So I'm going to come in and hit that paper with a little bit, and I might hit my homemade paper. Let's gesso it up a little bit. Just paint on top of this homemade paper. I know I grunged it up with I did grunge it up with the archival ink, but now that I see it with this cloud-like halo around it, and I like it a lot, why not? We can change our mind and say, okay, let's just tone that down a little. It doesn't have to be so prominent. I like it a lot. Oh, good, Tammy. I'm glad to hear that. She said, I'll come back for the replay. Oh, Jennifer, you like it? All right, there we go. I'll go up closer so you can kind of see. And you guys, you can do whatever the heck you want. Now, the next thing that I sometimes do that I really love to do, and I usually use my gel pens, but as I said, my gel pens are all needing to be replaced. I'll probably do some shopping when we're done here. But I do like to come in and do some just making marks. And I might do that this time with, yes, brown. So I use the brown Stabilo here, but I think I'm going to use my brown like a fine point marker, any kind. It doesn't really matter. I like to use permanent ones if possible, but again, it doesn't really matter. But I might come around and make some marks just some random, I do like, sometimes I'll do X's and O's, and I'll show you close. Like I might, and I tend to do this around the edges of my paper, or like something like this, or you can do circles, things like this. I'll show you real close because it's gonna be hard for you to see. I just like to make some random marks. I don't know. I like the one that are just slashes because it kind of looks like stitching. So if you think about it, like maybe you stitched along the edges of your paper. And I think by darkening some of the edges of it, it kind of frames your project a little. You can do the same thing with your Stabilo. Where is my Stabilo? Who took it? I think I put it away actually. You'll see me oftentimes now. I already have a nice dark frame with my blues around this, but you'll see me oftentimes come around my project and just add in some Stabilo, which is like a chalk or charcoal like pencil. So you can smudge it with your finger or you can wet it and really activate it. But I might be tempted now. This is really fun for me. I love doing the marks. You can do whatever you want. You can do it anywhere you want. You don't have to just do the edges, but I tend to just do some on my edges. I don't know why. It's kind of like, I've been doing this for a long time, so it's kind of become like a signature for me. Now it's, oh, I don't want to go over my dates. It wasn't writing there, so I took out my big marker, but I don't want to go over my dates, so I'm going to leave that alone. And then I'll come over here. It's so faint, you guys. But I can see it and I like it. Like they look like little nails, maybe like nails on the cross. Now I might come in here where it's brighter and put some along this edge, like right in here. Make them a little more prominent. Just gives your eye something else to rest on and look at, and it just makes things super visually interesting. I'm really liking this. So I'm going to follow through here. Whoops. What did I knock over? My glue. All right, girls. I am so excited that you joined me for this because it really made me focus and make some decisions on this page that I've been stuck on for so long. I won't say that it's finished in the fact that I am going to get a gold marker and I am going to rewrite what's in the cross with gold. I really want it to be in gold. So I'm going to do that. So I'll just come back to this page someday when I get my gold marker and do some more work on it. I will keep this here so I can remember what I did there. It's like my little practice. I'll know what that is. I'll know what that means to me. That's just some of the process of how I do it. And I always love to share. Thank you, Miss Tricia. Maybe the barbed wire look around the edges would mimic Christ's, yes, the crown of thorns. See where your mind goes? It's so relaxing and therapeutic, I think, to create in a book and just to let your mind go wherever it goes. And the more time you spend with somebody like me who shares their art journaling process, it's one thing to see a page. I look at a lot of pages and then I wonder, how did they do that? So when I share, I hope to give you the how part so that you can feel like you can approach a blank page, an absolute blank page, and get started and not be intimidated by it. I want you to have a book full of blank pages and see it not as like blank pages that are intimidating, but blank pages that like get you excited and inspired to just start doing on those pages. So anyway, art journaling today. Okay, if you are interested in joining us in the Craft Therapy Club, whether you're a Napkin Lovers Club member or not, it is all new, restructured on April 1st. We're merging the two groups, and I'm super excited about it. So check out my website, thecomfinesswithgrace.com, and see what membership group. There's a tab there for the Craft Therapy Club, so you could click on that and enroll or just check it out. Don't be afraid to message me with questions. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day. It is Thursday. So I keep thinking in my mind it's Friday, but it's not. It's Thursday, March 23rd. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Bye.